Okay, didn't want to have to type it unless it got at least a few replies, not great at green texts, but cope old fags. Be my scout leader. Be age 27-ish. Be trying to find self/religion, etc. Decide to go to Ute tribe since hell the Indians are well known for spirit quests and he already has a friend from the tribe. It should be said this is set sometime in the late 70s. Be avid outdoorsman / in a woods kind of guy, so also brings along his 1903 Springfield in 30-6 and some 38 revolver. Keeps 1903 Springfield in truck but gotta keep that thing on you, so stows 38 revolver in pants. Meets up with local tribe and gets introduced through friend. Gets to know a couple the head tribesmen and medicine men who conduct the rituals and help with spirit quests. After a while asked to join them for a sweat lodge / peyote session. Since he's gotten in cool with them they agree. Have to drive and follow the tribe to some religious / sacred ground where they have set up a sweat lodge area. As stated before, keep rifle in car but brings along revolver. Goes. As per custom, removes shirt and shoes but keeps on pants. They begin the ritual and everything is going okay. The head tribesman there begins chanting and telling native stories and legends of the tribe. Scout leader starts hallucinating to the stories but is staying semi-coherent. After a while a howl breaks the air and the head tribesman grows quiet. The men listen in and hear large steps approaching the tent. Soon vicious snarling and growling can be heard. The head tribesmen start praying loudly in native and starts encouraging the other to do the same. Another howl is heard, this time behind my scout leader. Quickly produces the 38. And snaps around to shoot the creature. A howl of pain is heard before a large paw slashes open the tent. Shortly after, movement can be heard of the creature running away from the tent. Scout leader sees a large patchy-haired creature with a small bloody gash in its side from the bullet. Now the head tribesman is urging everyone to move towards the vehicles they came in. My scoutmaster rushes to his truck and retrieves the rifle. Turns quickly to see the rest of the tribes also producing firearms from their cars. They all start running after the dogman creature, popping off random shots towards it. The dogman now rushing towards a wooded creek bed. My scoutmaster tries to place at least one good shot in. He steadies himself and levels the rifle center mass at the dogman as he pulls the trigger as calm as he can. They all hear another howl of pain as it just makes it into the woods. The group decide to keep booking it towards the creature and eventually make it to the wooded creek bed. Upon reaching the creek bed they all notice one. They can no longer hear its loud footsteps too. The tracks end as soon as it hits the creek in 3. It's almost impossible to see. After re-evaluating possibly getting eaten they decide to stay grouped up, guns at the ready, and slowly start moving up and down the creek looking for tracks on either side and can't find any. Quickly all realize it couldn't have made it any farther down the creek without them being able to see it once they got to the creek. They all decide to quit the search and head back to their vehicles. Shortly after, the tribe didn't allow anyone near this part of the reservation. TFW, my scoutmaster shot this thing with 3206 and it didn't go down. The head tribesman also stated that it couldn't have been a hallucination as everyone saw it and peyote isn't powerful enough. So that was the time my scoutmaster encountered a dogman. Is he common in the cryptids of Utah/Ute natives?
Be me. 2 years ago. Living with a relative at the time as I was homeless after my landlady kicked me and the other tenants out because she was afraid we'd give her kids Rona. Illegal as fuck. Yes, did she care? No. Did I try to fight the eviction in court? Didn't see the point. The house is about 40 minutes from a wildlife preserve, so the backyard leads to some woods. Sitting out on the back deck of the house around early May, Kung flu restrictions be damned. It's about 1800 hours exact when I start hearing my uncle. It's odd since I hadn't thought he was out in the woods. My uncle was asking for my help. He implied that he was wounded or something from how he sounded. Utterly confused because I thought he was almost definitely inside. Decide to go in, ask for help from his kid's mother, never married, so not my aunt by any stretch. Stopped dead in my tracks when I see my uncle, all okay, right on the couch in the living room from the room where the back porch door leads to. Asks me why I look like a dork who forgot his man purse at home. Ask him if he was outside any amount of time earlier. Says no, because he didn't want his neighbor snitching to police that quarantine in the neighborhood was being broken. The police in my state actively encouraged that. I go back down to the basement where I crashed. Start hearing my uncle scream for help from outside, seeming more frantic now. Take a good look at the one window that peers outside and cover it up with clothes. Move myself over to the nearest corner as I continue to hear my uncle being perfectly imitated. Sit in corner, frozen in complete fear as I begin hearing tapping on that window, the sound of his voice still as intense. Force my eyes shut and wait exactly an hour before it stops. The walls are very thin in the house, so I can hear it when the frantic screaming continues. Now this person copying my uncle is banging on the garage door with all their might. This goes on for 4 hours. I don't sleep for 4 days after that. Barely eat, or leave that basement either. The next morning we did get visited by the police. Neighbor across the street, aka the snitch, called after seeing a pale, skinny, naked man bashing on the garage door. Didn't see anything beyond the description apparently. Eventually crash and pass out for about 3 days due to the lack of sleep. Took me 2 months before I felt brave enough to remove the clothes from the windows.
I have this kind of spooky story. Be me camping with friend. Be blasting Fallout music. Shoot some trees with our airgun. Fun. Just before we were going to sleep. Hear this eerie humanish scream. Sounded like if a woman was imitating some wild animal. I grabbed the gun. Probably just a fox or something lol. But no. We hear movement all around us. The scream starts to come from different directions. The animal must be incredibly fast. The sound stops. Nothing. Kind of creepy. Maybe it was a cryptid. Don't know of any Finnish cryptids though.
Some OC. Be me driving home to house I've lived in for 8 years. Normal day, normal drive home until I get 300 feet from my driveway. A small house that was never there before is nestled behind some trees just down the road from my home. Ask my wife when I get home if she's ever noticed that house. Nope. Don't think much of it. Notice the little abandoned house a few more times going to slash from work and think it's odd. A few weeks later have neighbors over to watch hockey. Neighbor asks me if I noticed that same house. Laugh and tell him the wife and I were just discussing it, and how no one seems to remember it. Neighbor lives slightly closer to the mystery from us where that house is in full view from his back door. Nobody remembers it being there. Neighbor and I hanging out a few days later, decide to grab some flashlights and go check this place out up close. The driveway leading to the house has been overgrown for years and completely disappears before getting to our road. Overgrowth gone wild. We get up close and it's brick, only a couple bedrooms, and the siding is covered in ivy, windows boarded. This thing has been abandoned for a long time. On further inspection, the house becomes utterly bizarre. Nothing seems to add up, and while it looks like a normal small house from a distance, up close it looks like it's made of cheap plastic. The door is several feet off the ground. The windows are only a foot or so from the ground. The front door is locked and fairly sturdy, so we go to one of the windows and both lean over to look inside. What's inside is even more bizarre somehow. Where the chimney connects on the outside of the house, there is no fireplace. Where the front door is, there is a wall. The front door is also several feet off the floor inside in the house. Fucking what? We go to the bedroom window and there is a plastic child's chair with no legs facing the door. The walls look like Lego plastic. There is a bed, but it is misshapen. Not like it is old or destroyed, like it is just wrong. The legs of the frame are all different lengths. The mattress that is half laying on the floor and half hanging on the frame is not an even rectangle. But the mattress is immaculate, and again looks like cheap plastic. Neighbor and I scratch our heads. We try to get in through the bedroom window but it won't budge. Give up and walk back to my house. Notice a piece of the plastic chair from the bedroom is laying on the ground in the overgrowth. Neighbor goes and picks it up and it fucking disintegrates in his hands. Anywhere he touches it, the plastic just gives like wet paper. We still talk about this from time to time.
Alright, I promised and now I will deliver just for reference. I'm currently 20, but at the time of the story, I was 18. Just around the time COVID started getting bad, once again not great at green texts deal with it. Be me 18 and school means nothing, cause COVID basically gave me a free pass to graduate, as I no longer was forced into doing the curriculum. Decide I want to go in a woods and be away from society for a while. Decide to go to some BLM land and fuck around. Bureau of Land Management for you, who don't have it in other states. It's basically open land to camp on and etc., but not any facilities for modern luxuries. Have a shitty Turk shit shotgun in 20 gauge and decide to bring it along. Also convinced my girlfriend who's 3 years older than me to buy a pistol and let me borrow it for the trip. Base Jericho 941 FS in 9mm for those who care. Didn't want to get raped by homeless/druggies, so I kept it on me at all times. Camping, eating the baked beans and etc. normal shit. No spooks just yet or anything. Nights were peaceful and slept comfortably in my tent. A couple of days and after deciding to go into town for the day, come back to destroyed tent. Thankfully left nothing of value at my campsite other than just my tent, cause setting it up is annoying. Oh well, I'll sleep in my car. I'm sure some druggies got mad after it was empty. Decide as well to not stay there since not trying to get mugged in my sleep or have my windows broken. Go to a less visited part of the land and stay there. Do nothing for rest of day, just be kinda bummed about tent since it was expensive. First night sleeping in car, have intense feeling of being watched/something is near me. Shrug it off as just being spooked since tent got fucked. I've been camping since I was a baby, so not really scared of woods at night, since I'm smarter than the average bear and was in Boy Scouts since forever. Can't shrug feeling of being watched, so just take some melatonin and drift off into sleep. Wake up in a cold sweat, and swear for just a second after I woke up I saw eyes leering in through my window. Sit up and look around my car, and see nothing at all, assume it was just a hypnagogic hallucination from my groggy mind. After calming myself down, fall back asleep. Wake up and step outside my car to pee and set up camp stove for breakfast. After starting to boil some water for oatmeal, look at my car to see a giant scratch along the side as if someone keyed my car in my sleep. Get even more mad as start feeling this trip is cursed to ruin all my shit. Eat, and nothing out of the ordinary happens again till nightfall. Up reading one of those military survival books, pick related. In car with flashlight, cause I don't want to run my car or maintain a fire. Hear a death squeal from a rabbit and freak, as I hadn't even encountered a small animal other than hearing random birds calls till now. Assume a coyote or something has done well to hide, and so I step outside of my car, and yell fuck off to scare anything away from my camp. Immediately hear a quite angry sounding screech. Fuck that. JPG. Hop back in my car and lock doors, recheck my pistol and pull shotgun out from under backseat. Stay up for a considerable time, checking my watch every couple of minutes. Eventually decide I'm being a pussy and should just sleep, but keep my shotgun by my side. Sleepy times. Wake up from my car bouncing up and down as if someone is walking on my car. WTF.avi. Immediately hop up and look at hood and trunk, not seeing anything. Huh? Check my 360 radius and see nothing. Suddenly it's as if a sharp nail is tapping methodically against my roof. Motherfucker thinks he can spook me, hell nah. Grab shotgun and put my back to door and push it open to blast this motherfucker on my roof. Fall on ground and try to acquire target, but nothing is on my car. Think someone might be in woods throwing rocks, so grab flashlight and pan around looking for someone. Nothing. Fuck this, hop in car and stay up till dawn. I'm not leaving till daylight, but also not trying to get murdered by hobos. Finally daylight approaches and I hop out and collect my garbage and assorted junk from around my new site. At this point I'm so tired of getting fucked with, I decide to unreasonably hunt this dude messing with me. Decide to find another campsite, but set up a decoy sleeping area as if I were going to sleep under the stars instead of my car. Set random shit under a blanket and make a campfire / roll a log seat over to make it look legit. Once again hear and see nothing till nightfall. Incognito and on time, I'm hiding in my car barely able to see the decoy sleeping area. It's around midnight when I see a large man walk over to the decoy bed, with some type of cudgel in his hand. Start whacking the decoy. Splinter Cell conviction time, as I pop out shotgun in hand with handgun tucked in pants. Remember how I said my shotgun was Turk shit? Pull trigger. Click. Nothing. Gun doesn't fucking fire. I'm about 6'2", pretty lean at 165 pounds. Man is easily 7 feet 0 inches or taller, definitely not a goat man or skinwalker, but fucker is ugly as hell. Smells of shit and ironically copper for not being a skinwalker. Looks almost Neanderthal in nature and his large club doesn't help the comparison. Drop Turk shit and whip out the pistol, putting terrible shots in stomach area, and whiffed one into club arm. Hear that terrible screech from the other night and connect the dots. Fuck this, I'm leaving. Funnily and luckily enough, we both retreat into the woods and me into my car. Drive 90 till in town, not really able to sleep that night. Don't return to campsite till morning. Thankfully shit is all there, shotgun I left is smashed but oh well. Blanket and my other random junk is also fucked, god damn it, like $500 worth of shit ruined. Collect what I can and Scout's honor leave no trace cleaning up all the mess I made. Figure police won't help, so just go home dumbfounded at my interaction with this caveman. Told my girlfriend, and she doesn't believe me. Thinks I took acid or something, and had a crazy last night of hallucinations. No satisfying ending, never heard of a caveman, or druggie found dead or anything like that around there. Sometimes still hear tapping on the roof of my car in the early morning, or late at night when I'm parked, but it's not like it followed me home. TLDR, in a woods anon meets caveman and ruins most of his camping kit by deciding to hunt it. So what do y'all think? Did I encounter a crazy tall druggie, or legit caveman? By the way homie, looked like that Geico caveman, pic related.